Live. Hey everyone, this is John. Welcome to Lichess Plays on this May 1st edition, first of the month. How's it going, Handles? I see you in the Twitch chat. Greetings to our viewers on YouTube as well. As always, great to see everyone. Where do I want to put this knight? I'm thinking knight f4. This is actually a 3+2 game. Well, good thing this is the first game because I was setting up my stream and adjusting the window and stuff. I didn't notice that this was an increment game. But just as a reminder, 3+0 challenges only, and I select randomly from the pool, and we'll get after it. You can challenge to casual or rated. Doesn't matter. Up to you. I will put my 26-22 blitz rating on the line against you. Feel free to take my points if you can beat me. However, do not use engine assistance. I can't believe this has to be said, but last week in the very first game of Lichess Plays, someone used an engine. Subsequently, they got banned. That person actually had the audacity to message me afterwards on Lichess and say, "Good game. I was just checking you against Stockfish." Just checking you against Stockfish. But fortunately, I was able to win that game by flagging them. But needless to say, don't do that. Don't do that, folks. Hello, John Stevenson. Also, Jonathan. I like both your names on YouTube. Hello, Aryan, by the way. I see you, Aryan. Let's go here. I'm going to freeze the white position now. And looks tough for white to get out of this because of the pin. Also, d4 I can just take. So maybe king f1 or something. Very uncomfortable situation, though, for white. Ooh, and I have knight d3. Okay, so I could cash in right away. And then take the rook. I'm tempted to do something else because my opponent's position is so passive, you know? Let's do that. Let's play rook d4. I'm just going to look to double up the rooks. I'm going to ignore this. I don't think this is going to lead to much. I'm also covering a4. Not like white can even move the queen anyways. All right. Ooh, we just got a big influx of people in the chat. Thank you very much. Did we just get a raid or something? Hello to Deirdre, Chessmaster96. 1 in almost 8 billion. Hello. What's up, fish emoji? Good to see you. Popcorn muscles. I'm hiding in the shadow of the pawn here. Could take also, but let's just play this one. Yeah, I feel I'm really close to a tactical win here. Very, very close. There's always this king f1 move, however. But I see some fancy stuff. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go here. What is my threat with this move? It might be to take b5, but I have a sneaky alternative idea. Hello, Edward. What's up, Richard? That's what it's called, huh? Checking against Stockfish. Yes, if you're just joining, I was relating how in the very first game of last Lichess Play stream, I encountered a cheater who was 1100 rated and playing incredibly accurate moves and completely outplaying me. And they subsequently got banned. I had to end up flagging them, but they got banned later in the stream. And they actually sent me a message saying that they were checking me against Stockfish. Okay, and this is my idea. Rook b1, little deflection move. Trying to get that queen away. I'm threatening queen takes e2 checkmate right now. That is pretty severe. I think the best move for white now is to castle, actually. Although that's mate in 2. Yeah, white resigns. I don't know if white can delay checkmate much longer here. Mate in 6. Best move, d3 or d4. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, thank you for the game, Sharapov. G. This was orangutan. So b4 on move 1. And I don't know. I think e4 is a little bit loose. I know I can't take this pawn here because you've got bishop takes g7, but I don't really like your pawn structure, especially when you take. Wow. Engine already says this is -5. Knight e5, really good move here. I did not play that. Knight e5 coming up, attacking various points. Probably because if d4, even though white's covering this and this, I have queen takes d4. That's a nasty move. And then check, win another pawn, take that. So thank you for the game, Sharapov G. But just a reminder, everyone, if you're going to challenge, do challenge to 3+0. Sally Bovich, you're up next. Let's play e4. Oh, thank you, Jason. Says, I look forward to this all week. Glad to hear it. Yes, it's become a nice Sunday tradition, hasn't it? Okay, let's play knight f3. What variation am I gonna play here? Let's play an Italian game, and then I'm gonna decide. Yeah, let's go Evans Gambit. Where are my Evans Gambit players in the chat? Bishop e7. Yep, this is all standard stuff. This is one of the most reliable moves as far as I'm aware. I'm gonna try to keep material on board. I know knight takes e5 is played sometimes too. Sally bovich seems to know what they're doing. Queen a4 check. I guess there's just c6. Yeah, here too, I feel like I should take a pawn, but I'm going to try to avoid taking one for the time being in favor of development. Yeah, Agad Mator does, he really liked the Evans Gambit. Yeah, it's an ongoing thing on his channel, isn't it? All right, I'm going to take it now. I don't see a good alternative. I think I have to acquiesce. So we're even material. Arguably, my structure is a little bit fractured, though. I don't think black should have any issues here. That is the thing about the Evans. There's a couple different ways black can play if they want to return the pawn. Yeah, Kasparov played the Evans from time to time as well. Actually, I think he had a nice victory against Vishy Anand in this line, as far as I remember. Not this exact position, but this variation. I'm going to go back now because I think I'm already a little bit loose here with these pawns. So let's withdraw the knight. I'll play h3. I just want to rule out something coming here. Let's go here, maybe. I know there's bishop h2. My opponent could go after this if they wanted, but let's play it. Go figure, when I play the Evans, it ends up just like an equal material, kind of boring position in terms of gambits. I'll try to make it spicy at some point. Okay. Maybe here. If I take, that's under attack. All right. You know what? In an effort to spice things up, let's take here and go here. I'm going to give this pawn. I'm trying to give away the dead weight in the position. If takes, do you think e5 is playable? I wonder if that's a legit move. I see some stuff here, guys. That could get very interesting. e5 take here, though. And if take, bishop comes back to take. It's probably no good. All right, so let's play rook c1 first. Now this is shaping up to maybe be something for me, though, tactically speaking, because e5 is a pretty strong idea. Watch this alignment. Hello, David Drummond, tuning in from Central Australia. Requests that I play the King's Gambit. We shall see. I thought about it in this game. I definitely thought about it. All right, h6. So black can't take here twice because I have bishop h7 at the end, winning the queen is the point. So let me think how I want to handle this. I could take... My opponent takes the bishop, and then here... Maybe black can play queen takes f6 at that point. I got to be somewhat fast here because this is getting down on the clock for me. I'm going to go here. Oh, but Sally bovich is blundering this. This is the thing I said that black can't do. Now I just got to convert it with 20 seconds. I'm going to win the queen. Take that. If bishop here, I'm taking here, which is forking a bunch of pieces. Can I hang on and win this? I think so, because I'm winning a lot of material now. Take. And let's just bring the rook in at some point. Checkmate incoming. Thanks for the game, Sally bovich. Yes, Sally bovich is not listening to the stream, more than likely, because they did take on e5 after I had said it was a blunder. Yep, thank you. I think you were better out of the opening. I definitely liked your position a little more. I think the engine's going to like it too. Okay, it says pretty much equal here, but it looks a little more comfortable for black. My structure's a bit hard to keep together. I don't know. Maybe somewhere around here it thinks white's getting an edge. Probably not the way I played it, though. Maybe 95 was somewhat of a mistake. That seemed to give me some initiative here. Yeah, and the engine's not super convinced. It wants you to play h6 somewhere. Maybe as soon as that bishop hits g5. Yeah, and this is actually closer than I thought. I thought this would be winning, but I didn't see a clear knockout at this point. I played bishop h4, and I was expecting you to go g5. G5 to chase the bishop, and I was probably going to take here and then play something like queen f3. Ooh, engine dislikes, though. Dislikes it. If you can keep an eye on this square and prevent me from coming over and giving mate on g7, you're fine. Yeah, this could have been, I mean, especially with my time situation, this could have been pretty close. b5, good move. That was not on my radar whatsoever, the move b5. Little punch on the other side of the board. That's wild. All right, well, we could analyze this position for quite a while, or this game in general. Thank you, Sally Bovich. I think that line against the Evans is good, and I look forward to our next game. Okay, Ogion 2005, you're up. Let's go d4. I feel like playing some sort of offbeat d4 opening. My opponent plays d6, kind of an underrated move. Let's play knight f3. Maybe we'll take this into normal Pirtz territory, like knight c3. Okay, knight d7. All right, let's go e4. Assuming my opponent goes e5, maybe I will play for some sort of early g4 system. That's how you can spice things up against this. Hey, John, who's your favorite to win the candidates tournament? Great question. You know, I'm going to go with Fabiano. I'm going to go with Fabi after his performance in St. Louis. I haven't thought about it too much, though. I know Ding has played a lot. I kind of think Ding might be fatigued just based on the sheer amount of games that he's played. I know we've got a little bit of time before the candidates comes up, but I wonder what the current odds are. I know by rating, Fabi has dropped a little bit. So it's very much, I think, an open question, this candidates, as to who is one of the favorites. Of course, you can go by rating, but from what I've gathered and read from other players, this seems to be the most open candidates in terms of a winner in quite a while. I mean, also, I think Firouzja is a wild card as well. We haven't heard much from him lately, but of course, if he comes out of the gate charging and displays the form that he has in past months, then he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Let's go h4. All right, I like this. h5, g6. John, are you surprised that Hikaru did as well as he did? Yeah, for sure. We all know Hikaru is an amazing player, but I think pretty much everyone was surprised that he did so well in the FIDE Grand Prix and now has a massive, massive opportunity. If only I could get my knight here, the queen would be trapped. But I don't see a good way to do it. I can wedge my bishop into c6, but it doesn't do much. I'm probably going to continue with my attack. Let's go h5. Hello, Maroon Sero. What is my favorite opening? Of course, I got to go with Team Scandi. No doubt. My Scandinavian defense. Yeah, someone asking if Magnus chooses not to defend his title, what would happen? And I think that is correct, as Pancake Gremlin said. The top two finishers in the candidates would play a match to determine the world champion. Okay, here I can hit the rook, but I'm going to get counter hit by knight c7. So I'm thinking I should go back with my queen. Probably here. Looks reasonable. And I'm looking for g6. 2 points of contact on these pawns. And with the pin here, I'm liking what I'm working with here. I think the only question at this point is, do I go g6 right away, or do I maybe go knight d5, throw something like that in first? Bishop d5 even. It somehow feels kind of wrong to give black the possibility of a queen trade, but this is such a strong idea, I'm going to play it. Because if take here, I can throw this move in first. Question is, though, maybe that's not so bad for black, actually. Because I don't have a check at that point. I could take here, get a queen. My opponent takes there. That's kind of weird. That's a strange situation. Maybe that wasn't the strongest by me. Yeah, see, black didn't have to play that, though. Ojian, you could have played king h8 in that position. We'll check that afterwards. I'm not going to take quite yet because I've got this rook held hostage anyways. I would expect black to play knight e6, though. Knight c7 instead. Okay, let's go. Oh, now I should take because he's playing bishop e6, I suppose. All right, just develop now. Oh, yeah, I played Scandi against IMs and GMs, for sure. I mean, you're taking on a bit of a risk, absolutely, compared to more solid mainstream openings. But the various lines of the Scandi do present a problem, like for white and preparing for it. So it's plenty playable, I think, at pretty much every level. Let's give a check. Now, if king e7, there's check here. Yeah, and I'm going to win another exchange. Or a full rook. All right, thank you, Ojian, for the game. Yeah, strange circumstance here. If you go king h8, you might be okay, relatively speaking. Yeah, king h8. The point is, I can take here. Usually this will come with check. You know, queening on the back rank. Very good chance that it comes with check, but not in this case. And your queen can do various things. Queen f3, good here. Linking up with the rook, but most importantly, attacking here and here. And then I'm in trouble. I have to give my queen. White's in trouble in this position. So had you played king h8, I was going to take the queen. Probably this way, but let's say knight here. I think you stand a good chance of getting this pawn back in the future. So how could I have played that better? I'm curious. Bishop d5. Okay, g6 is up there. Yeah, I like the look of bishop d5 in hindsight. Trying to force black to move the rook and then play g6. Remember, we want to hit where lines are most likely to open up. If I play h6 instead, my opponent has the option of pushing past and closing things down, right? So think about that when you're pawn storming. Okay, thank you for the game, Ojian. I think in the opening, g4, if you're going to challenge that, you might want to take the pawn or, yeah, knight b6, opening up the bishop to take it. This is a bit of a sketchy move. I know it's kind of trendy against the Pirts, or the Hanham Philidor, I should say. It's more so what we're in. But you can try to take that head on. Okay, thanks for the game. Yaroshevich. I'm getting white in a lot of these games. Let's play in English in this one. Shout out to all the Lichess mods out there. Numeroid and No Joke Chess, if they're in the chat. Thanks for making this happen. Shout out to all the Lichess users and Lichess itself. Take advantage of all the features on here. It's a completely free site. It always will be free. It's an awesome project for the chess community. It's built for all of us. It's open source. Yaroshevich, are you there? I don't think so. All right, on to the next game. What? Not you again. Good luck. Okay, let's play French. Ooh, F4 against the French. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is going to give French players any sleepless nights. Let's take. Attack the queen. We'll go here. Threaten discoveries. I could easily see something like bishop b5, a6, take, and then eventually winning g2 happen, you know, when this type of thing occurs. Here, though, I can take, because I've got a discovery on the queen. Lichess equals good. Yes, that's correct. Let's take. Okay, so I'm up a pawn. Looking good. Got 2 center pawns as well. Always nice. Let's go bishop c5. I want to see if I can prevent white from castling short. Now here d5 looks, or d4 rather, forks the 2 minor pieces. That looks pretty good. Maybe white has like one way to defend against this. I was thinking maybe bishop f2, so if takes, take here, but that wasn't looking too hot anyways. Let's go here. I'm not going to sweat the b pawn. We're not worried about that. Let's go attack this. And again, the influence of this bishop prevents white from castling. At least short. Okay, now I'm going to take. All right, I'll trade queens with you. I'm up a piece here. So I am okay with that. And let's keep the king in the center. I think my king is nicely tucked away here, so we can do this. Pile up against that pawn. The knight is guarding the bishop, so no worries there. White could have maybe played g4, trying to go g5, looking to deflect the knight. But let's now look for this. And if white moves this a pawn, I can take here. Is a nice little response. All right, so if here, take, 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 here, take, or king to the corner. Probably not much. Okay, I'll go here. After all that. And now maybe I'll play this move to trap the bishop. Nah, let's first go here. Let's go attack the rook. Oh, don't do that one. I had my bishop sitting there. Hello, Yanni Gogo. What was the top-rated player you played with classical time control OTB, and what was the outcome of the game? Oh, yeah. You know, it was years ago. I would really have to think about that. I've definitely played some players like in the high 2600s. Mid 2600s, maybe not high 2600s. Online, I played Ding Loren in the Pro Chess League. That was definitely the highest rated player I faced, period, like in a serious game. It was a rapid game, but over the board, I'm not sure. Might have been like Ilya Smirin or someone like that, although that doesn't seem quite right. I don't think I played a 2700 FIDE, but I'll have to go back in the database and look. Could have been Gajewski. Gajewski was pretty high rated when I played him in the Icelandic League. Threaten checkmate. And we get checkmate. Okay. Thanks for the game, whatnot, you again. So f4 on move 2. This is a variation, but I don't think it's so great against the French. And then combining it with d4, taking this way. This looks like kind of a bad Scandinavian almost because you're moving your queen around a lot and you've already committed to several extended pawn moves. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing that way. I would stick with d4 personally most of the time in the French. There are other systems too, but hard to argue that that's the best move. Best try for an advantage. Thank you for the game. Who's up next here? It's our buddy Aryan, who I think I saw you in the YouTube chat, Aryan. You said you had challenged early today, as usual. Good luck to you. Aryan was also my opponent in the Blindfold game. Aryan, are you there? Come back to your computer. Okay, good. Was my opponent in the Blindfold game, in the final game of the previous stream. All right. Playing the C3 Sicilian. Let's play something different. I'll play G6. I don't often play this line, but let's see what happens. We'll do this and this. And I think they usually go here, and you kind of angle your pieces towards attacking D4. Ooh, F4, huh? F4. All right, let's go here. I have some experience with this type of setup from the Gurganidze variation of the Caro-Kann, so I'm somewhat familiar with like how to handle this. Could go here or here. Both moves look tempting. I think I should probably go here because I have the threat of taking and taking d4. Maybe taking d4 right away even. Hello, Sabina. Yes, Sabina is in the chat. She's also a Lichess Play streamer. Does everyone say hello to Sabina? And now let's go here. Attack the bishop. If bishop f2, I can think about taking f3 because, again, I've got pressure on d4. But I'll make up my mind when we get there. How is Aryan going to keep this together? Looks tricky. You can easily get overextended. Okay, Aryan takes, but I'm not all that unhappy about this with the two bishops now. Just castle. I'm not going to sweat this move. If Aryan wants to go after one of the pawns, that's fine by me. I'm going to try to demonstrate that I have compensation. Okay, knight h4. Uh-huh. E6 takes. I don't like that structure so much. Let's get spicy. Let's go bishop e4, offering take, d5. I'm going to try to go knight b4. I might be angling for the d3 and d5 squares. Oh, they didn't change the stream title, Sabina, during your last Lichess Plays stream? That's funny. That's happened to me before, too. All right, now let's do this move. Snipe the knight over here. Aryan's fast, so I don't want to get too far behind in the clock. Aryan is a quick player. Let's play rook c8. I'm being a bit casual about the pawn coming to e4, but I think it's relatively safe for the moment. Any advice on opening preparation? Asked Don. What specifically about opening preparation? Hello, Gokul. Thank you for joining. Just as a reminder, this is a 2-hour stream. It's a 2-hour tour. Playing all comers. Anyone can challenge, as long as you have a Lichess account. And you're not using engine assistance, of course. Don't do that. Okay, I'm thinking about throwing in h6. I think this is just a handy move. The a2 pawn's also hanging. I might go take that, but let's kick the knight first. In between move. Well, if you insist, Aryan. He's going to take here. That's the point. Okay. Well, yeah, this will be interesting because the knight's coming here now, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to try to avoid capturing on b2 for the moment. I want to try to get a good square for my own knight. That was clever. That was clever with rook c5 and then knight takes e4. But we shall see what happens here. Okay, let's set Aryan a little trap in this position. You guys ready? Oh, I think he fell for it. The double attack. I think bishop d4 had to be played there. I don't see a move to keep a piece. I mean, here, take e3, run the c pawn. Shouldn't work. Knight can come back to d5. Rook can come over to c8. All right, let's take. It's a big-time attack here. Take that one off his hands. And now I just got to coordinate. Whoops. Let's go here. c6, I'm going to play queen c2. All right. We're going to keep this simple. And just look to convert. Aryan's tough, though, in time pressure. You know, this game I'm going to win, but I don't like getting low on time against him because he is very crafty and fast. I know a lot of you guys are. Should we see if he goes forward to his fate? Oh, he is. All right, now I go check. And then here and queen f8 mate. I think I can pre-move that. Okay. Yes. Thank you for the game. I gotta go. My favorite autocomplete message. He knows. Thanks for the game, Aryan. Let's check that moment when you went rook c5. I'm kind of curious what the engine thinks about that for you. It looks good, actually. I think that's probably your only move. Yeah, yeah. Nicely played. It does not like h6, therefore. Says I should move the knight here or here. I guess because both moves like knight e7, that guards the c5 square. Okay, so here, yeah, it does not want you to take the bishop. It's saying go ahead and play knight g5 instead. Yeah, so critical moment right there. And I think once your knight gets to e4, this is anyone's game. Knight b4, engine's showing rough equality here. Take, take, take. Yeah, and this was the trap. Knight takes b7, pivotal moment. Remember, loose pieces drop off, folks. Undefended pieces have a way of just evaporating from the board in chess. So you got to have a constant awareness of them. Yeah, bishop d4 looks pretty good. Here, maybe now you take. Yeah, sharp position. I'm going to have to get this bishop back in the game at some point. Again, I think this is pretty much anyone's game, despite the engine slightly preferring black. So, tough one. Thanks for the game. And if you guys are looking for a line against the Alapin, I do think d5 and knight f6 on move 2 are just flat out the best moves for black. But you can think about g6. I've even played b6. The automated analysis on Lichess gives that a dubious mark, but it is playable. You'll find plenty of games in the database. Key thing is that you don't let white just chill with the two center pawns. You fight back with d5, and you make a point to force white to stagger the pawns or take. If white takes, by the way, I was going to go knight f6 and look to recover the pawn. This is kind of like the Panov-Botvinnik variation. All right, thanks again, Aryan. Who's up next? Humanist. Good luck. Are you there, Humanist? Do I ever get tired of chess? I really don't. Like, that's one remarkable thing about it. I would say my interest in, like, hardcore chess studying kind of wanes from time to time. Like, I have not seriously studied the game, I'd say, in a good 4 or 5 years at this point. But I'm always around chess. I always find chess interesting. There's constantly games being played at the highest level to follow, tournaments all the time. Good luck, King Hunter. So, I feel like even if you're not interested in playing or studying serious chess, you can always kind of graze on chess very easily. And the game is accessible as a result. So it's pretty remarkable, though. It's the one thing in my life that I just have never gotten bored of, I think. Like the one hobby, activity, whatever you want to call it, pursuit, I've just never, ever tired of. Okay, we're playing pretty speculative here with the H-pawn running down the board. But this is interesting. I think when you do this, it's kind of good to keep the tension for a moment because I'm going to retain the option of both H3 and taking, depending upon how white plays it. Have I ever gotten seriously invested in a game besides chess? Well, I did play a lot of computer games. Not a lot of computer games, but I spent a lot of time playing certain games when I was like in high school, like Age of Empires and Counter-Strike. I spent a lot of time playing poker in my college years and shortly after college. I was really into poker for a while. I got into that craze for sure. I was like multi-tabling cash games and, I'd play like 20 tables at a time. I was really, really into that. And then, as many of you who play poker probably know, if you're in the U.S., basically the U.S. government like outright banned online poker one day back in 2011. So over a decade ago now. Just happened pretty much overnight. And my interest in the game really, really waned after that. I still play every once in a while with friends or, I'll go to the casino or something for fun. But yeah, there's been various things like that over the years. I would actually love to get into Go more. I know how to play Go. I've studied it a little bit. I think it's fascinating. The barrier to entry with Go is a lot higher than chess, right? Because It's a much more complicated game. It's harder to teach a new person the game. But I would like to invest some time studying that sometime in my life in the future. Yes, Black Friday. That is correct. That's what that ban in online poker was known as in the U.S. I don't know about that one in almost 8 billion. You'd have to run that by the Lichess mods. I don't think they'll be doing that raid. Not out of animosity to chess.com, but just the fact that we usually raid Lichess streamers around here after the stream. Okay, so white takes this. And I could go all in here and take that, but I think it's better if I play something else. This looks like some sort of busted Sveshnikov for me. Like, I don't think I'm playing this particularly well. Should I sack the exchange? You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to try to prove that I have some compensation on the dark squares. And we're going to try to play off of white's somewhat compromised structure. I feel like Magnus might do something like this just for kicks. Okay, what are the chances my opponent blunders like a bishop h6 type tactic? My opponent's trying to castle, I would assume. All right, let's take this knight. Then I'm going to jump up here. Looks annoying. What are the chances my opponent castles now and blunders bishop h6? I think now that he's thinking about it, probably not great. Usually, if they're going into the tank when there's like an obvious way to get the king to safety, they see the threat, but you never know. Bent Larson's choice? Oh, right. Do you say that, Rafal? Because Bent Larson famously said when you don't know what to do in a position, push a rook pawn. Or has he actually played g3, h5? It's not so bad, I think, against g3. It makes sense because you got a little hinge to work with. All right, knight f3 played. Let's go bishop h6 all the same. Okay, now I'm actually getting some compensation, I think. Let's send this over. There's a check here. I'm not going to sweat that. I'm just going to hide the king. This position is going to be tough for white to keep together in time pressure. All right. Let's take that. Got a bunch of pieces on the edge of the board here. Ooh, 92. Really? So I could play queen g5. I could play knight f4. Lots of moves here. I don't know. I'm torn. Let's go queen f6. Let's get another piece in the action. Okay. Go knight f3 with the pin here. Take this. Take this. And give me that one. All right. Still not completely over, but I am up a piece now. And I get this check in. We're going to take that rook mate incoming. Okay, thanks for the game, King Hunter. Speculative sacrifice on my part. I think you were better, for sure, after bishop takes h4. But it seemed interesting. It's kind of a hard position to keep together, you know? Just because black's position's pretty compact. The engine's showing big advantage, but it's more of the slow burn advantage. I think you're going to have to diffuse my play in the short term. I didn't like queen d2. I think you should keep your major pieces off dark squares here, since I have a dark square bishop. That would be my take on the position. Thank you for the game, though. Interesting one. Okay, Devasas, you're up. Good luck. All right, what have I not played? Let's play a Pirtz. Playing a Pirtz. I'll play my version of it, e5, the one that I prefer, versus the g6 lines. And the offer of the queen trade. The early queen trade. Okay, king e8. This is a rather subtle line. Bishop d2. Okay, let's go a6. This move's always handy because it covers b5. Can prepare bishop d6, b5 as well. So even though black has lost the right to castle, that's not the full story. Like that alone is not going to give white a substantial advantage or anything. Let's go bishop d6. So we want to meet knight g5 with rook f8. What are my thoughts on the Damiano Petrov? Yeah, I saw Camille Plikta has a course on that on Chessable. So it's playable for sure. In Blitz and Rapid, I think it's definitely playable. Let's go bishop g4. I'll take that. And now I think I'm going to angle the knight for well, knight d5 might be annoying. No, that's fine. I'll go here. We'll keep b5 in reserve, but I might be looking to get into here at some point. Oh, I didn't know that, Rafal, that he actually played games like that. I'm sure just for fun. Starting with h4, a4 on move 1. All right. What now? Knight e7, maybe? Let's maneuver the knight over here, because my opponent blocked the knight d4 access, so I'm going to try to go this way instead. Yeah, put the knight here. So long-term, these pawns can be weak. And if I'm controlling the pawn breaks, I feel okay about this. h4 is interesting. h4 is a playable move here, because if I take white takes g7 and can argue that my position's a little loose with f7 under attack. If this is played, I'm probably going to do something like h6. Or maybe h5. I'm not sure. King f8 is another option. King f8 is a very common move in these positions. Maybe that's even the best one. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Let's do it. So I'm looking to guard g7 and therefore trying to make knight takes h4 happen. Does this have a threat, though? What if I take? Or take here first and then take? Maybe he's going to argue that that's an idea. Take here. I take d5. All right, let's go for it. Knight takes h4. Sergei Kasparov has a line on this line, a book on this line. Yeah, that's correct. I think I have that one actually. Okay, put the king there. So is the rook coming in to g7? Looks like it. I'm going to go here. So I have a very compact position. It looks like white has pressure, right? Ah, that move. I didn't see that one. Okay. Not the end of the world, though, to part with the exchange, because I have 2 pawns for it. And if my knight comes here to guard h7, I think this is game on. I think anything can happen here. Let's kick that. Let's go after that pawn. Now, f4, if I can just take, thanks to bishop e3 being an idea. So I'm starting to target these pawns now. Oh, is my opponent going to blunder it? Don't take it. Don't take it, Devasas. There you go. Okay, but now I'm pushing. This feels very close to winning now. Let's give a check. Bishop here. Or maybe just push h5. Now let's go bishop here. Now he can bail out. He can take and then take f3, but I think that's probably going to be losing. Although I am behind on the clock, we must keep in mind. Ooh, my opponent's going to do that. Okay, so let's go. Let's take this way. Offering a trade. Interesting. Well, Feels winning now. Feels winning, man. Opponent resigns. Okay. Didn't test me there at the end. Could have done so with 13 seconds versus 20. Yeah, thanks for the game. Interesting one. Let's see what the engine, what do you guys think is going to be the assessment right here, let's say? If you were to predict an eval, put your evaluation in the chat. What do you think? Is white better? Oh, I should hide this so you don't see it. It's auto-generating the analysis. Someone clicked analysis. I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty close to equal, personally. Most people are saying better for white. +1, +2. +2 seems like a lot. Let's check. Close to equal. Almost dead equal. Yeah, everything's a draw. That's the lesson that engines have taught us. Pretty much everything's a draw. Except your guys' games. You know, you guys lose a lot. I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is equal. It makes sense. I mean, black has 2 pawns for the exchange. F4. Up until F4, that was just the big mistake. If rook H2 or rook F1, still about equal. I think at this point, though, on a practical level, I kind of like my position, because if ever I can get H5 going, it's going to be a little tricky, but if ever I can arrange H5, the H-pawn becomes pretty dangerous. And this bishop is kind of screened out of the action. Very interesting game. Thanks, Devasas. I know I tried some Ben Feingold. That's something Ben would say. All right, good luck blundering noob. Let's play E4. Do we challenge 3+0 rated or casual? You can do either. Either one's fine by me. All right, let's play King's Gambit. Someone was asking about it. Should I play the bishop c4 or the knight f3 variation? Let's play the... Oh, okay, black doesn't take, so I won't get a chance. Yeah, d5 is a pretty good option against the King's Gambit. The Falk beer. Okay, bishop c5. Bishop c5, huh? So if I take here, that's always met by queen h4 is the thing. And then if g3, queen e4. I don't think that's what we want to do. I'm not sure what I should play against this move, quite honestly. I'm out of book. I'm completely out of book here. If knight f3, I would assume e4 is decent. So it's probably something like d3, maybe d4. Let's go d4. This move's probably sketchy, but it looks fun. Now my idea was this at this point. I think black should actually take with the pawn instead, because now this looks a little shaky. The name Fins is from a Jimmy Buffett song called Fins that I was listening to approximately, I don't even know how long now. Let's call it 13, 14 years ago when I made the username. Not on Lichess, but on other sites. Okay, bishop g4. I shall take, I think. I mean, I'm playing a King's Gambit. I'm trying to, like, give my pawns, but instead I've got 2 pawns established here and here. Where did you get the name John? John. Yeah, you'd have to ask my parents. I think black's still fine here if they play the right moves. This one, This is black going to go f6. Let's actually play check first. I think I should check and maybe try to accelerate castling. Ooh, also I'm noticing if knight d7, maybe I can just take that. I think I can actually. Ooh, this might be dangerous for blundering noob. Where did Lichess get the name Lichess? Ooh, someone in the chat will tell you. It has to do with liberty. Yeah, I think I just take now. Ah, okay. So if take, queen check. I can go king f1, though, so I think it's fine. Queen e7. Let's break the pin now. Still blundering noob. Hello. Yes, there you go. Oh, you answered your own question. Lichess is a combination of live, light, libre, and chess. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to take here. Sorry, this is kind of a boring game now, but I am up a piece. I don't think I should bother to defend d5. I think it's more important just to get the king to safety. So let's do that. Oh, I'm reading YouTube chat. Yep. YouTube chat is slightly delayed, but I am reading it. Okay. So putting the finishing touches on this game against Blundering Noob. Let's go. Let's take this first. I just want that knight off the board. And then I'm going to play knight c3. And if take here, play rook b1. I'm not actually attacking b7 because there's a pawn in the way, but it looks pretty good. Do I have any GM norms? Yes, I have one. I have a sole GM norm from a tournament about 8 years ago in St. Louis. I got close to a second one back in 2018 at a tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina. I needed to win in the final game. And I drew the game. Sag. It was very close, though. I was winning at one point with like one very specific move and a rook ending against a fellow IM. Okay, I'm going to decline your rook, Blundering Noob, and I'm going to play a checkmate. All right, thank you for the game. I think this line is probably playable, at least in practice. Wow, the engine hates d4. I had a feeling d4 might not be good, but let's see what the masters do here. This position has been reached a few times in master play. Knight c3, knight f3 usually played. I didn't like knight f3 because of e4, but I guess now d4 makes sense. d4 could be played counterattacking. Bizarre position, even though we're only 3 moves into the game after c5. But yeah, usually in this position, black takes on f4. That's the typical way to play the Falkbeer. Very interesting. I think you were still doing all right even up through here if you play c6. It just so happened knight d7 was bad, but c6 I think is completely fine. Yeah, here, take, and I'm going to be winning this bishop. Thanks to queen takes d7, knight takes e5 with the double attack. And this kicks off like a typical sequence where black takes me, but I take black. And because I'm up a piece here and black can't regain it, that material imbalance is going to be maintained. Okay, thank you for the game. Who do we have next? Levitating 24. Good luck. 2292. All right, I got to focus here. Let's play a Sicilian in this one. D. Freeman asks, have you tried the Square Off Pro e-board? I have a Square Off, but I have not tried the recent version. I tried one from a few years ago. It was okay. I personally didn't find it like super useful. Like the experience of it rather, but I know some people do like to play online with a physical board. So to each their own. And it's definitely like a cool novelty. Like no doubt about that. Okay, here I think I should go h6. King b1 is not too usual. Usually white's playing f3 or f4 there. Do you guys remember that company that did like it wasn't a GoFundMe, but it was some sort of like crowd raise for their electronic board. But there was all this controversy about it because they couldn't produce like an actual prototype of it. And there was all this like flashy marketing material, but it seems like it was just grossly exaggerated. I always wonder what happened to that company. I haven't heard anything about them in recent years. Okay, let's send the queen out this way, and I might castle this direction. We're bouncing the queen around. Off the billiards, off the rail here. And if f5, I think I'm going to stick the queen on e5. Okay, castle. So let's also, or bishop b3, let's castle. Am I planning to play some OTB tournaments this year? I might, yeah. I'm kind of getting the itch again, for sure. I don't know. This move feels a little sketchy to me that I'm playing. I think my opponent might be able to take advantage of this, but we shall see. Yes, Regium Chess. Thank you, Polar Cow. Regium Chess. They were suspended from Kickstarter in March 2020. Okay. Because they put out some videos that look like they had been edited of like pieces zooming around this board, supposedly using magnets. And it was so crisp and clean and fast, people got suspicious. Like, no e-board can do that. Okay, h4, h5. I definitely don't think this is the way to go for my opponent. Now I'm really liking my position because the queen is a beast here. The dark square play is pretty massive. You know what I think white had to do? Queen d4 right at this moment would have been unpleasant for me, because if I take, white throws that move in with check and wins a pawn. All right, so queen there. Do I care about white coming into these squares? Maybe. Let's just play king b8 to start. I might be able to take this. You guys know me. I like grabbing pawns, so I'm strongly considering it. Let's do it. And if I get pinned, I'm just going to go d5. I want to maintain the attack on b2, though, for sure. And one other line I calculated, if rook takes, that's fine, because this rook is defended a couple times. This bishop is very useful. That's right, Polar Cow. Can I take it? I love grabbing material. So Regium Chess is out, huh? Man. Too good to be true, apparently. All right, now here. Guard against bishop c6. Maybe looking to throw down with rook takes c3. Wait, what? You can do that now? Rook d7, I can go rook c7, I think. Is that the play? Bishop c6, like almost working, but I think I take there and diffuse the attack. Diffuse the bomb. Okay. And now we're just in a simplified position here. I'm thinking if I can get fancy somehow. Otherwise, I'm just going to take on c3. Yeah, let's just take on c3. Bring the rook over. And checkmate. Okay, thank you, Levitating. Key position there right when you played f4, f5. I think this is actually good for you. But on queen e5, I'm pretty sure you got to do Some quick challenge of my queen on e5. I really thought queen d4 was the move right here. Rook e8. Rook e8 is a good reply. Interesting. Yeah, because again, the idea with this one, folks, is that, whoops, I want my queen to defend e6. And if I take here, white can throw this move in. That's the thing. So I was thinking about like bishop d7 here, but rook e8 looks a lot more reliable, keeping the bishop where it's at. This would be interesting, though. You know, and strangely, I don't mind endgames like this. There are a lot of endgames in the Sicilian where black has the two bishops and fractured pawns like this, and it's actually completely fine. You've got good play on the dark squares. Engine says equal. I would actually personally slightly prefer black here, although I don't doubt the engine's evaluation. Yeah, interesting one. King b1, again, is not so common. It's a little down there in terms of popularity if we're looking at the database. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. So you can actually hover over... Wait, how did it show that? It just showed like a percentage. I didn't know that you could actually do that. I think it showed the percentage of time that this is played in a given position. I'm trying to get that to show again, but I can't. There we go. Yeah. 1.4% of the time. I imagine that's what it is. So if you hover... I'm learning something new every day. Shout out to Lichess for always introducing me to new ideas. Yeah, I think that's what it means. So like F4 is the top move here with 4,200 games played. And I think that means it's being played 63% of the time by white in this position. And here's the sigma. This is the total number of games played. Yeah. Huh. So yeah, you can actually tell percentage-wise by doing that. Okay, cool. Yeah, it'll show average rating if you hover over the bars with the percentage of white wins, draws, that's the middle bar here in the gray, and black wins. Okay, thank you for the game, Levitating. JDS31, good luck. Let's play D4 in this one. I'm feeling Jobava London. How about you guys? Jobava London incoming. E6, though. All right. We'll still play it. We'll still go for it. And now, yeah, we're in some usual stuff here. Should I go for knight b5? Trying to win the bishop pair. I'm just going to play e3. I'm going to keep a little more tension on the board. But I can definitely think about the early knight b5. Boring? Maybe. But black's going h6, g5, so black's intentionally spicing this up. Looks like we're going to get a spicy position. All right, now, once again, I can think about this move. Strongly considering it. Let's do it. Threatening knight c7. And on knight a6, I'll go c3. And that knight on b5 can be irritating for black. Yeah, Hans seems to be... We're talking about Grandmaster Hans Niemann, who wrote a course on this line and plays the Jobava London a lot in Blitz and also Classical. He seems to like the early knight b5 in a lot of situations. That's for sure. Let's go here. Yeah, and now you typically want to meet this with a4. So if c4, I'm not going to lose the knight. c4 could have been played on the last move. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Check. I guess it's probably just bad, though, because after king moves somewhere, I don't even have to take on a8 right away. I could just move the bishop if I want to be really safe and then pick up the rook. Okay, so this is shaping up really well for me. If c4, bishop c2, take. Guess what we're going to hit JDS with? Let's see if that happens. Yeah, I played a classical game or a rapid game on Lichess in my last YouTube video, which if you guys haven't seen my YouTube channel, you can just go to YouTube and look at my username or my name, which is John Bartholomew. Type that into YouTube and you'll find my channel. But I played a classical game on Lichess with this same exact system not long ago. Okay, let's throw in a check. I'm up a piece now. Yeah, bishop a4. That's what I was planning if black went and took that pawn. That's right. Let's go knight c6. Okay, I will type fins into YouTube. You might find it if you type fins in chess. Hello, Akshay. How you doing? All right, let's take here. And I think on king here, I'm going to play the nasty move. Well, actually, first let's play this. And then I'm going to play the nasty move bishop e5 to put black in a semi-perma pin here. Keep the bishop guarding the square. This bishop's extremely annoying with the pin and also guarding b8. I almost don't even want to take that rook. Like, that's how good that pin is. But I'm going to do it. Your channel actually shows up if you type fins chess. That sounds right. Yeah. Play a King's Indian mainline. I could try to play a King's Indian. I'm going here to avoid King D2, Knight E4 check, although I guess I had King C1 even against that. Have ever played the 3-check variant? Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I like that. 3-check is a good variant for improving your calculation. All right. So we're just trying to convert here. I'm looking to play E4 sometime in the near future. Yeah, let's play it now. I think black can try to maneuver this knight in here, but shouldn't amount to much. And I suppose I'll go after this pawn. This is just a cleanup job at this point. King's Indian mainline. I can try to accommodate that, though. I can try to play that. Oh, really, Aryan? You beat Zhigolko and Andrew Tang in 3-check. That is quite the accomplishment. Because those guys are so good that even if they don't play a lot of 3-check, you just know that they're going to be good at it. No doubt. No doubt. Just looking to connect the pawns here. Let's prepare an ambush. I'm going to take here just to keep things really simple. Get rid of the knight. Get rid of the most annoying piece in chess, right? Just get it off the board. Okay. Thank you for the game, JDS. So that h6 g5 plan against the Jobava, you can't really afford to play these moves. That's a little too time consuming. And when knight b5 hits, I think this is already pretty pleasant for white. You want to go knight a6 here, and I would play this, but your position strikes me as very loose already. It's going to be hard to eject this knight. I'm guarding e6, d6, c7, pretty much everyone on this diagonal really nicely. So, yeah, you want to rethink how you play this. Maybe just bishop d6, one option. Bishop b4 here played a fair amount, it looks like, with this move order. a6, also a decent move, always in the Jobava London, just to rule out knight b5. There are many, many variations. Thanks for the game. All right. Sadguerra. Good luck. Let's play d4 again in this one. Hello. I'll try to play another Jobava London. Knight c3. Okay. Ooh, c5. Aggressive line. Very aggressive. Okay, so taking on c5 is always up for consideration. You can reinforce, though. That's kind of the automatic move. But if I take on c5, I have to reckon with d4. And then if knight b5, it looks threatening, right? Like trying to line up what I did in the last game. But queen a5 check is annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and play e3. Ah, e4. Yeah, e4 is a sharp move, too. We'll look at that afterwards, because I'm not as familiar with that. All right, so let's do this. Ooh, actually, I think there I should have played knight b5 on the previous move instead of knight f3. I think I had a chance to do it, because this is hard to guard now. So I was not heads up. I think knight b5 with this exact move order was strong. And now I'm going to probably either take or maybe play knight e5 even, I'm thinking about. Let's take. Let's see how black intends to get this pawn back. Black Mardimar. Interesting. Okay, now I'm thinking about doing this. So yet again, this knight b5 move. Rearing its head. Attacking here, looking to get into d6. So even if black covers with rook c8. And if queen a5, like now my bishop's defending the knight, so I would just play c3 against that. When did you realize you were good enough to play Blindfold? Good question, because I don't remember playing a lot of Blindfold or really practicing it when I was younger. I would say probably around the time I was like 2200. I started realizing I could play a Blindfold game and like hold it in my head. That sounds about right. Let's play the bishop in. Ooh, takes, but that allows me to take with check and get the fork. Pick up the exchange. Which response to d4 for black do you consider underrated? Interesting question. I would say Queen's Gambit accepted. Underrated opening. Not too popular. Not even that many resources out there. There's been a couple more in recent years, but I always felt for a long time like the QGA didn't have a whole lot written about it compared to other d4 defenses and published analyses. QGA is tough. That's actually one of the openings I have the worst record against with d4. You love the England Gambit, Aryan? Well, we saw last week how that worked out for you, unfortunately. Sorry, man. I had to do it to you. But at least you love it. That's the important thing. All right, let's go knight d4. Attack this. Hey, what's up, Pampazer? John Lennon or McCartney? I'm going to go with Paul McCartney. Make sure to hit him with the I've got to go goodbye afterwards. It's very situational. You have to time your auto what do you call those? Autocomplete messages correctly. Let's go f4 here. Using the autocomplete as a weapon. Did I practice blindfold games to improve? Asked Michael on YouTube. I'm 1800 Lichess and I can only make it about 10 to 15 moves and it gets pretty blurry. No, I think it has limited value, to be honest. Practicing blindfold. Like I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. Hey, Christopher Herrera. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, congrats to you. I saw that you got engaged recently. So huge congrats, Christopher. Thanks for being a longtime viewer on my channel, and best wishes. I know you're inviting me to the wedding, right? Oh, queen takes e6. Thank you for the game, Sadguerra. Queen takes e6. That could have been a nice move. I didn't think about that. Boom. Yeah, that was possible. I was looking at variations with knight takes e6, but not that one. That's a funny move. Smack in the middle of the board. Yeah, thanks for the game, Sadguerra. And if take, royal fork. So wins a pawn. Wins a very important pawn. Okay. So, yeah, with this move order, early c5, it sounds like Hans recommends e4, huh? Are you sure about that in this exact position? Because, I know you can play e4 here. Like, e4 is more popular on a relative basis in this position. But it might be playable here. I mean, the stats are not great on it, but only 7 games. But definitely, like in this position, I should have realized knight b5. Because knight b5 is always a move you look at early on in a Jobava London. And it's just killer here because black can't guard the c7 square. You guys see that? They can throw a pawn on the way to block, but that just loses a pawn. Very similar to, like, let's say black plays knight c6 instead of c5. Typical mistake. And you won't catch, like, a lot of strong players putting their knight in front of the c-pawn like that in this type of line, a d-pawn opening. But here, too, knight b5 is bad for black. Yeah. But fortunately, I got it coming up. But I should have realized here knight b5 was good. It was still good even a few moves later. Or decent, at least. But yeah, it feels like Sadguerra in this position, if you had avoided bishop takes d6 and played a move like knight e4, that you're still very much fighting because that attacks the bishop again. Let's say take with the king. You stand a good chance of winning this pawn for sure. I think you're going to scoop that up. So even though your king's a little bit inconvenienced, you're completely fine here. So thank you very much for the game. All right, moving right along here. The road to master. You are up. What should I play this time? Let's play knight c3 on move 1. I almost never play this opening. I could transpose to a Grand Prix or closed Sicilian. Let's do that. What do they call this opening again? The Dunst or the Van Geet? All right, let's play f4. So staking out some space on the king side. Let's play bishop b5 now. The Van Geet, yes. Van Geet opening. I know Lawrence Trent just made a course on knight c3 on move 1. Knight c3 is kind of an awkward move, though. It's like very quirky because, you're taking away a lot of your options by blocking the c-pawn. Compared to knight f3, which you don't mind blocking the f-pawn usually early on. Yeah, congrats again, C. Herrera. It's only Sunday that we can play against you, Finns, asks Eric. Well, I actually play viewers on my personal channel every once in a while, too. So if you follow my channel on Twitch, I sometimes have streams like that. But yeah, this is the most regular time that I play viewers, absolutely. Let's give it a check. And just as a reminder, there are other streamers doing Lichess plays, especially Sabina. Sabina seems to be doing it quite regularly. So if you want to get a game in with her, she does it like once or twice per week, usually, from what I've seen. Should I go f5? I kind of don't want to retreat my knight, so I'm going to go f5. I'm going to counterattack here. Take this. I'm arguably letting black off the hook a little bit, but I think I'm still going to have a pretty good position here. Okay, here I can play bishop c4 if I want. Let's do that, because I think that wins a pawn pretty comfortably. How often are there Lichess plays? I only catch you on Sundays. I think on average there's like 2 or 3 per week. Maybe one of the mods can chime in, but I've seen Sabina do them pretty much weekly, at least right now. I want to say even more, but maybe just weekly, which is still, a fair amount. And for a while, there were other streamers doing them too. I'm not sure who else is in the mix at the moment, but they do try to get other streamers and players involved. Like actually, Shakhriyar Mamedyarov has done Lichess plays before. He did it once or twice. It's pretty cool. You could play an elite player. Big shock. He seems like a great dude. I really like him. Yeah. He's very modest too. One thing Mamedyarov said in an interview, I was watching the Oslo esports tournament, and, Shak played in that. That was just completed a couple days ago. And I think he said, if I'm remembering this correctly, that he didn't start playing chess until he was age 9. And I think he said he didn't play like his first big open tournament until he was like 14 or something. I could be getting the ages slightly wrong, but that's extremely surprising for a player who's, perennial top 10 player in the world. Ooh, okay, I think I'm ready to tee off here with bishop f7 if I want. I'm just looking to see if there's anything better. Because bishop f7, my idea is to get at the bishop down here, but let's say take, king g6. The king's actually like kind of snug there, so I might want to hold off on it. Maybe I throw in this move first, but then there's queen d6. Maybe I do this, and queen d6, bishop takes f6. However, black might be able to take with the bishop, although that looks terrifying. Yeah, because take with a pawn, which was kind of expected. This is just going to get mated now. We can pre-move the checkmate. But take it with a bishop, I didn't have any like crazy good discovery there, I don't think. Thank you, Road to Master, for the game. Yeah, this position's pretty overwhelming. I mean, white's up a pawn, black's king stuck in the center. But if you take with the bishop, maybe a couple chances here. Oh, there's even queen f4 and then take. Road to Master, that queen c7 move in the opening definitely got you in trouble, right? Like you probably realized that after the fact because you took your eye off of the pawn here. So you can see the database, 97 played a fair amount, reinforcing both here and here. That looks like a very reliable move. But it was tough after this. Thank you for the game. Okay. We still got over a half hour here, folks. So lots of opportunities still for games. Let's play e4 on the Midnight Radio. Good luck. I really do feel like I'm getting the white pieces a lot in these games. Are many of you like challenging me and you're being nice, you're giving me the white pieces? I'm curious. D5. Very good move. Yeah, D5 is a solid move at this point. Should I be greedy? Let's go here. Let's give a check. I'm going to try to take here. I'm going to try to induce one of the black pieces to come to this square, then take, and argue that black is blocked from recovering the pawn easily. That's the idea of this. You see this in some openings. A few weeks ago, it was the opposite, almost all black games. Yeah, maybe it's balancing out over time. Okay, let's go knight f3. I'd say some compensation for black here. Black's got a bit of a lead in development. Now let's go bishop e2. John, have you ever played queen takes d4 instead of c3? I think it's interesting. I played that every once in a while. Yeah, in this center game, just taking back, kind of Scandinavian style. Absolutely, I played that a few times. It is interesting. Because there are all those lines where, let's say black goes knight c6, you put the queen on e3, and you try to castle queenside. That is definitely possible. Yeah, rook e8, good move. I like that. I got to be kind of careful here because there's pressure down the e-file. Nice polar cow. Oh, you picked random, Richard? Nice. Okay, let's take. And I'm on this. So, Midnight Radio, do not take with your knight. Do not blunder the knight. There you go. All right, so I still have to be kind of careful because these bishops are like screaming down the diagonals towards my king. I think I'm going to go knight d2. I think this is a savvy way to play this because I could castle. It might be safe, but maybe I want to retain the option of going this way or maybe playing knight c4. Let's just see how black develops from here for now. Good evening, JG Jant. Okay, queen e7. Maybe here now. Let's do it. So I'm really making an effort to keep the e-file blocked. My bishop on e3 is doing yeoman's work. Attacking the bishop twice. This is starting to look pretty good. I think black will just have to retreat that bishop to c7. Still tactics. Whenever you got those bishops side by side, there's going to be tactics that you got to watch out for. Might be time to castle soon, you know? However, I see some counterplay from my opponent, so I still have to be careful. I'm going to castle this way. This is a little bit risky, but I'm going to do it. I'm not sure which wing the king is safer on, but I do know that I probably need to get it out of the center soon. Now, if I castle this way, I was kind of worried about b5 for black, which is maybe still playable here. But at this point, I was thinking perhaps this move in reply. And with the queen and the rook stacked, that's the justification for this. When I was castled short, I wouldn't have this option. Yeah, rook d8. Now maybe knight f5. Is that playable? Otherwise, I have to play bishop f4 or something, but that's hanging this. So let's go knight f5. Queen e6. And then I can either go queen here. Yeah, might be playable. Or I could think about taking on d8. Opponent goes queen here, though. Okay. So trading is, of course, an option. But it might be nice to take on d8 if I can make it work tactically. Take, take, take. I just don't see why that would be so great, though. Nah, let's just take. Keep it very simple. There's a check here. Yeah, let's give the check. And then take on c6 and take b5 at the end. Easy peasy. I'm even going to take here first. And then bank this pawn. Up 2 pawns in the end. Tricky, though. Tricky ideas in the mix. That was not simple to consolidate. Now I'm winning. Knight's under attack. Threaten checkmate in 1. All right. Thank you on the Midnight Radio for the game. I think you played that pretty well after you lost the pawn. Let's see if the engine can find compensation for you. Ooh, it does not like castle's queenside for me. Interesting. It does say castling short is better. So why is that? Castle's queenside is about equal. Maybe better for you if you find the move knight e4. Knight e4. Once it's on the board, I can see why it likes that because that stops the whole knight d6 idea. And I think now b5 starts to become a serious problem for me, is maybe what it's saying. Like, let's just insert some logical move here to test this. Ah, rook d8, though. Rook d8 is the actual threat. Aha. And my queen is trapped in the middle of the board. Look at that. Very interesting. Yeah, because as it stands, if you play rook d8 immediately, I have a couple squares to work with, right? c5, supported by the bishop, and also h4. But knight e4 brilliantly takes away both those options. Blocks the queen and covers c5 backwards. So I can see how that's a nasty move. And apparently here, I have to play queen d3 only decent move, and even that's better for black. Queen d3 itself is very difficult. Like, psychologically, this move looks desperate and just bad. But I think the idea is I'm trying to come back this way with the queen. Thank you, Lusasso. I could easily lose this. But, I mean, in a blitz game, it's just going to be super difficult for both of us. So, pretty good game on the Midnight Radio. Yeah, I haven't seen, like, knight f6 here. Looks like it's played every once in a while. The way I played it's kind of greedy, but you probably have compensation here. Wants you to go knight bd7. And then if I take with the queen, probably bishop c5. Wow, and this is like winning for black already. The engine really likes your play in this position. You're up equivalent to a rook here. Wow. Okay. I could kind of see that. I mean, you've got a bunch of developing moves, and I don't have all my pieces on the back rank. Interesting game. Fascinating. So thank you very much. Hey, R. Beasley, you get a game. Good luck. Let's play d4 against R. Beasley. You waited patiently. And the RNG, the Lichess RNG, rewarded you. Or actually, it's more so the plugin RNG. I have a little plugin that allows me to accept an unrated challenge. Do I think much of Albin's counter gambit? You know, I think I would not be able to like get a massive advantage against it on the fly if I were to face it right now. But I can see why it's not played so often at the higher levels. I think it's definitely risky. A lot of those gambits too just get diffused, and you never get to play any of like the really fun lines. The top players just know how to take away your counterplay in them. Yeah, exactly, Richter's neighbor. Yep. Let's play at e3. Bishop e4 is kind of unusual. I'm allowing my opponent to win a pawn here, potentially, but I'm not going to sweat it too much. Bishop d3. Nah, let's go queen c2. Let's play that move. It's a little bit safer. What's the best cup of coffee you've ever had? I don't know. I had some good coffee in Iceland, actually. I really enjoyed the coffee there. Yeah, greetings to you, Richter's neighbor. A lot of people do put the bishop on b4 in these QGD or semi-Slav positions, but generally it's going to be misplaced. There are some variations where you can do it, like the Cambridge Springs, but it has to be for pretty concrete reasons because you might just regret this pin. Like, this move is only possible because black's bishop is not sitting here. Let's come back. Thank you, Steven. What is my favorite movie? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. All right. And now let's go bishop f4. I'm just going to try to restrict my opponent a little bit. Ooh, and this also not enough defenders on this square. Should I play knight takes or pawn takes? Knight takes or pawn takes? Key question. Let's take with the pawn. John, are we ever going to get a house tour of your new place? Absolutely not. No, no, no. I mean, I wouldn't even say this is a new place. I've been here since last July. Why not? Because I value my privacy. I know you guys mean well, but it's a pretty personal thing, you know? You got to watch yourself on the internet. I know some people are more open about stuff than others, but all right. So I'm just cleaning up the material here. Knight takes e8. Let's take this one too. I've got e3 well defended, so no worries about this alignment. Castle. On the internet, no one knows you're a house. Indeed. Very true. Let's give it a check now. This is opened up. I can also just take this pawn whenever I want. All right. Thank you for the game, R. Beasley. Yeah, so the bishop on b4 does present some problems. Like, you can maybe make it work in some instances. Like, if you go for a quick queen a5, a la Cambridge Springs, it can work. But in this exact position, black either plays the capture on c4 most of the time, h6, or knight bd7. Those are the main options. All have their own theory. Like, there is a line e3, queen a5, where sometimes the bishop does come here. But again, it's like very specific. And, you know, even in QGD, Queen's Gambit decline type positions like this, I see a lot of people going for like a quick bishop g4 and bishop b4 rather, in positions where it may not be best. There are variations like that. You can play this; it gets played every once in a while, but don't overrate that pin in the d pawn openings. If you're doing it, it should be because you know the line pretty specifically, I would say, because you might regret getting counter pinned here. All right. Thanks for the game, R. Beasley. PJC, you're up next. Okay, what have I not played? Let's play John Owen's defense. Owen's defense, b6. Do I have any b6 on move 1 players out there? We'll play it like this. This has a lot of French type vibes out of it. Similar themes to the French defense. John, do you own more than a dozen lumberjack caro shirts? What is a lumberjack caro shirt? Like this is being a lumberjack shirt, but I don't get the Caro-Con angle. I have a few, though. I do have a few in different colors. So f3, solid move, but I'm getting some play on the dark squares already here. Ooh, and now this might be more like a Sicilian almost. Getting some Sicilian vibes. Like this setup. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give a check. We're going to make this kind of quirky. Check, and then queen h3, assuming white plays g3. Just to tickle here and kind of hint at that I might play queen g2 if I get the chance. How dubious is this defense? b6 is definitely kind of dubious, but if white wants to try to refute it, then... Fortunately, my queen's not trapped here, by the way. If white wants to try to refute it, they have to play pretty principled. Like, you see sometimes players play like bishop d3 and try to grab more space. Like, that would definitely be critical if white went for a huge amount of space. Okay, now let's challenge. Yeah, bishop f1 was nice. I didn't see that move, so I'm lucky that I had that h5 square available to me. What is the best way to get kids into chess? At what age is good to start? Good question. I mean, I'm not an expert in like teaching super young kids chess. I have before, but of course, I would probably give the usual advice, like don't push them too much. Like try to introduce the game to them gradually, but don't try to absolutely force them to pick up the game in any serious capacity. Probably others in the chat will have better recommendations, but you can start with like simplified versions of chess, right? Like you could play like the pawn game, just have a row of pawns for each side plus kings, or just the pawns themselves, push those around a little bit. You can play odds games if the kids are old enough. Like if you're a decent player, maybe you start without your queen and you try to play against them. I would try to make it as interactive as possible, for sure. Okay, it looks like I have some sort of tactic here. I think I'm going to go b5, threatening b4. This is like some really good Sveshnikov, because the knights often go here in the Sveshnikov, but white's going to be dancing a little bit. There's almost too many targets here, because I can go after e4, c3, a3. I have knight d4 type stuff. I am spoiled for choice in this position. Let's play knight f6. Okay. I think I'll go... Let's go here. Try to open up an attack towards this square. If bishop e3, probably here. Okay. G4 now, maybe? I'm swarming in this position. My pieces are swarming, but can I land something concrete? That's an open question. All right, let's go f5. Use the pin. Again, it feels good, but I'm not seeing anything too great. Maybe this move now. And how does white defend this? That might be killer. Even this, though, may only pick up a pawn, although I'll probably still have an initiative for sure. Nice knight symmetry going on here on adjacent diagonals. Whoa! You're going to give me this, too? In addition to this? All right. Okay, white's going all in here. I think I should be able to take care of this one, though. Check? Am I almost mating my opponent? I don't have a checkmate. Not one that I see. But I am up 2 exchanges now. Actually, just 2 rooks, period. Let's take. All right, just converting in this game. Check. If only knight a1 was checkmate, that would be a cool checkmating move to play. You know? And that is checkmate. Okay. There we go. Thank you, PJC, for the game. I think PJC just started trying to play quickly because they were under a lot of pressure. I think you just got a little overextended. I don't like knight db5. I feel like you've already made a lot of moves with the same pieces here. So any further delay in your development is going to be kind of sketchy. Like maybe bishop e3. Let's take a quick peek, though. Of course. Knight db5, top move of the engine. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that move. I think you should play different. The engine's like, don't listen to that. I am. Okay, but probably not f4. f4 is maybe the main culprit then, huh? Bishop e2, and you're still substantially better. Interesting. Yeah, because white's position looks kind of loose still, but then again, I can see how my queen is going to get pushed back if you play f4 in the future when there's not like a trade that happens. Yeah, probably f4 here is just the big one-move culprit in this game because you were on the run at this point. This did not feel comfortable at all for you. Yeah, this is too tough to play. Thanks for the game. All right, we've got time for maybe 3 more games or so. J-Con, good luck. Let's play knight f3 in this game. Okay, I'm gonna do an extended fianchetto. G4. Oh, all right, H4. So I'm ready to meet black's fianchetto with my fianchetto, but I've already made an attacking overture on this side of the board. Don't try this at home. This is very risky. Do as I say, not as I do. I generally try to tell you how to play principally in chess, but this is like a don't try this at home moment. Let's see if my opponent tries to castle this way. I kind of get the vibe that he's going to do that because he's keeping these pieces back for now. Let's keep crawling forward. This is defended. And now the black knight is pretty cramped. John, how do you score against the early b4 in the Scandi? I think you're a queen a5 guy. Yeah, I do play the queen a5 Scandi a lot. I tend to score pretty well against the Mises Gambit. Yeah, I don't mind facing that one at all. All right, let's go G6. Ooh, I think I would have taken that if I were black. This somehow looks kind of weakening. Let's switch the bishop here. Attack this. Okay. Reasonable, reasonable. I'm tempted to play e4 to blast this open, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Let's go bishop f4. I'm just going to try to develop now. Now this pawn's under attack, isn't it? That's annoying. Okay, I'll come back. Have the rook defend. This is actually probably fine for black now. I think I maybe misplayed it a little bit. Not sure. Let's go queen here. Play d4. I probably should have put the queen on c1 because this move does invite knight e4. All right, let's jump in. Now, in this type of situation, you do not want to take with the knight because after pawn takes, there's a fork. Maybe black could go bishop b4 there and somehow avoid losing a piece, but it would not be recommended. Okay, okay. Let's go here. Oh, but I dropped a pawn. Okay, I still got some tricks up my sleeve, though. Knight f7. Potentially. Thoughts on NYC? Pretty fun city. A lot of energy there. I lived there for a year. About 10 years ago. It was a good time. But yeah, living there permanently would be something different. Not for me. But very fun city, full of energy. Okay. C3. Knight takes C3. Am I worried about that? Probably I should be. I guess I'll play E3. I don't know how much I like that. I'm going to go C3. I'm going to try to sack a pawn if black picks up on it. Hardest moment in your chess career? Trying to navigate this position against JCon 17. And now let's play E3. JCon 17 is much better here. Maybe black squandered a couple chances earlier, but I think it's still pretty comfortable for black. If B4, queen takes C3. I need to get this knight out of there. I'm resorting to moves like F3. Okay, for now, though, I think I've got things under control. Let's go B4. If queen C4, bishop F1. That's the move that's going to help me out. They never suspect the old bishop F1. As I almost succumbed to last game. Oh, no, JCon. I think you're feeling the time pressure at this point. Hello, Andy. How you doing? And hello, Legolas, as well. Getting ready to take here at some point. And black can take with the c-pawn to hold things together still. I guess I'll take, though, and then take here, use the pin. Yeah, this didn't work out very well for me, though. This whole, like, H-pawn, G-pawn demonstration. That turned out to be kind of poor. All right. Thanks for the game, JCon. GG. Yeah, I think you were doing pretty well in the middle game. Once these pawns got blocked and you found this plan of f5, knight f6, you're in very, very good shape. I gotta love these comments. This guy just hung to queen in one move. That's a little cruel. We all can do that. We all have done that in time pressure. I'm wondering if there was somehow a better way for me to handle this. I guess this is still okay. I was a little skeptical of f6, but it might be okay because I don't have a convenient way forward. And this was really good by you, Jacon, to play f5, knight f6. Yeah, GG. GG, Johnny. That was you. Yeah, thanks for the game. Oh, it looks like you can play e5 right here. Yeah, of course. I don't know why I didn't consider that possibility. I think maybe we both thought this square was covered twice for some reason, but well, it is, but not in my favor. If I take, I would lose a piece because you got both these defenders. Yeah. Oh, and you had when you played queen b4 and I went c3, I took a little bit of a gamble there because you did have the move knight takes c3, which can be a bit hard to see in the moment, but your queen is attacking the bishop this way, and that's why that's playable. So I was reverting to the hope strategy. I was hoping you didn't see it, and that turned out to be the case. But GG, thank you very much. Tough game. All right, I think it's time for our final game of the day. It's going to be a blindfold game, as usual. So if you guys want to see it from my perspective, you don't have to do anything. You can just watch the stream as is. If you want to see the pieces move, I'd suggest going on Lichess if you're not there already and following me. Follow Fins, F-I-N-S. You can navigate to my profile and then you'll see the game pop up. Because otherwise, you're just going to have to be okay with seeing a blank board. My perspective. All right, this is always tough. It's difficult every week, but let's do it. Knight sack 3. Oh, man, 2174. Last week, I faced Aryan. Here, I'm facing a 2174. All right, let's get after it. Thank you, Knight Sack, for being a Lichess patron, by the way. Look at that. Good luck, Knight Sack 360. Thanks to everyone for playing today. Okay, let's go c4. We're going to get a Nimzo, it looks like. Yep, Nimzo Indian. Let's play queen c2. Full concentration, John. Let's play bishop g5. I'm not going to go for the main line with a3. Just going to develop logically. d6, okay. b6, Still developing. Okay, now I'm threatening to take this pawn down here. I've got a queen-bishop battery going. Ooh, and did my opponent miss that? I think they did. Give me that. And then we're going to back this up. Okay, so I picked up a pawn. Very useful. We like it. Queen e8. All right, black breaks the pin. Let's go knight d2. I'm actually going to offer this pawn on g2. Because if black takes it, I think I'm going to get an initiative down the file. That's my hope. And I want to stop any knight e4 type move later. All right, I can't watch chat as much as I normally would like to because I got to maintain the position in my head. And it gets hard if I'm looking back and forth. Takes. Okay, let's take with the queen. e5. I probably want to play d5 here to block. Let's do it. So that blocks this bishop out of the game a bit. Yeah, really good position for me. I'm up a pawn. 2 bishops. Up on the clock as well. Knight back. Okay, so hitting the bishop. Can actually go h4, but let's go here. Oh, there's a pawn there. Oh my. Of course. My opponent literally just pushed the pawn there. Terrible. That's brutal. Hmm. I don't know why I didn't see that. It's castle. Now I got to play for the clock. It seems like I do well if I avoid blundering a piece in the opening in these games. Okay, knight comes up. Let's keep the bishop. Okay, let's take. Knight's back in the game. I need to attack here. That much is clear. Let's go rook over. Knight in. Wait, I have that square covered twice, right? Is that a blunder? This bishop is blocked by the pawn. I think black just blundered. Oh, the queen can take. Ah, yeah. Okay. Again, I'm missing like this e-file stuff. All right, let's go here. Yeah. All right. Still, we're playing a bullet game, though, which probably doesn't bode well for me with a minute on my clock, but you never know. Queen e7. Trying for a cheapo, although this square is actually covered, isn't it? G6. Okay. Let's go H4. King's on G8, I think, for black, right? Okay, we'll go here. Got to defend E3. Push. If bishop F5, I think I'm just going to go E4. Okay, King G7. Just got to create maximum tension at this point. Wait a second. Don't I have a rook here? Take. Okay, I think my opponent blundered. I think that for sure was a blunder. I caught a break. Okay. Take. Double. Attacking G6. Got queen here, and then two rooks here, here, here. I don't think black can defend G6. I'm going to win. Check. Check. Yes. Good game, Knight Sack 360. Whew. All right. Well, despite the oh, that was covered at the end. Oh, this is gonna be like a mosaic here in terms of the colors of these moves. All of the mistakes being made. I like how I blundered a piece immediately after black played e5. Like bishop f4. I played e5 locking this down, but I promptly forgot about the pawn sitting here. All right. It's got to be funny people looking back on this and don't realize that this was a blindfold game. Yeah, so you want to throw in the move h6 early on, knight sack. Usually best to do that. Like make sure you kick the bishop and, of course, prevent bishop takes h7. Yeah, as played, I think in hindsight, I would play bishop h4 or pawn h4, maybe f6. So yeah, probably bishop h4, maybe take even. Looks like h4 is actually the top move of the engine. Probably because if f6 is played, this is not even really a threat. Like even if I were to castle, you don't want to take because this gets opened up. This is probably a massive attack for white. And what about after that? So I lost the piece. Yeah, you're doing doing well, but it's still a little bit tricky, you know. I can see how this became tough for you. Then I started just throwing stuff at the king. Yeah, we're both getting low on time. You know, it happens. Bishop takes g4. You return the favor. All right. But thank you very much for the game. I appreciate it. And thanks to everyone for tuning in to Lichess Plays. This is a weekly event where I play viewers. It's a lot of fun. I think I was undefeated today, but it's not always that easy. People have taken me down in Lichess Plays. You guys always bring it. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Took a few opening requests. Played some interesting games, bunch of different openings. Make sure to check out the Lichess YouTube channel as well. Lichess has been posting clips there. So if you miss like interesting moments from the stream, you can always catch up with that. They're doing a good job of posting stuff there. We are going to raid US Chess. Yeah. There's a national tournament going on right now. So if you guys want to check that out on the US Chess channel, I'm going to guess that we can watch the broadcast of some games too. Maybe not from that event, but various events are available for viewing here if you go to the broadcast tab. All right. Thanks again. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your week. Bye, everyone on Twitch and YouTube. See ya.